For all tuning in, yo, I represent Philly Cam. Distinguishment of my voice is obvious who I am. Jay Thatcher, the host that give you food for thought. Deliver you the message like the money out the vault. Worthy discussion, live performance with special guests. Collaborate, community for being we invest. WPPM, don't forget the LP. 106.5 FM, also broadcast TV. Comcast Xfinity, channel 66 and 966. Got you all up in the mix. And if you don't got that, just switch to Verizon. Fios 29 and 30, that'll keep you vibing. Roku, Apple TV, even on demand. Direct TV joining us, it's the perfect plan. And if you don't got cable TV, justify the means. Go to phillycam.org live stream. Welcome to this gathering of the episode of the Televised FM radio special titled Food for Thought, where we embellish into a beneficial aspect of our purpose and express it outwardly into various forms of media provided. Accompanying me is a group of musical artists that take pride in their ability to bring their passion as devotion for music to any opportune event. So in this episode of the radio special titled Food for Thought, the theme of the conversational topic is projecting resonance based on similitude and compatibility. In any endeavor, whether it is deciding that a location is suitable for residing in, or deciding if another individual has the potential to be a prospect to work on a project with, the connection is initiated by the inward reflection of personal interest, which is self. And that is the food for thought of this episode. Joining me presently is a band that makes the celebration of music obvious. Each individual combines their input of tunes into a space that they can claim as their own melodic oasis. Their music, when playing, vibrates the atmosphere well enough to receive anybody's attention. So without any extended time, I offer the invitation of these special guests to introduce themselves.
My name is Tony. I play guitar for Rent.
Hi, my name is Joe. I do the singing and I play the rhythm guitar.
My name is Will and I play the drums.
I'm Harry and I like the bass.
Well, it's a pleasure to have y'all here. It's an honor to have y'all present for this episode of the radio special titled Food for Thought. Okay, so I have several inquiries based on the interest I have into you guys. So, what is the history and reason to naming your band For Rent? And does that title have any significance into your personal lifestyle outside of the band?
When we made the name, it didn't have any significance to us at first, but at the time it was just the three of us and not Will. He hadn't joined the band yet. And we were walking outside trying to come up with a name. We were coming up with everything, but nothing really seemed to work until we looked ahead of us and we looked at all the signs around and what do they say? They say For Rent. And I was like, that sounds kind of catchy. And I mean, I said it, but I didn't really like it at first, but we all seem to like it and people seem to like it. And I guess the significance it does have for our lives is that, I mean, we all go to school in North Philadelphia and all you do is walk around and you see so many For Rent signs. It really reminds me of our home.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, well, we chose that name just because our first show that we ever did was like that weekend, and we needed to give them a name to get on the ticket. So we were kind of scrambling to come up with a name, but For Rent kind of stuck.
Right. And to me, just thinking about For Rent, just that term, it has me thinking about like sort of like transition, like transition in life. Like when you're in one certain environment, habitation, apartment, house, or whatever, and it's for rent. That you have to pay your dues, you have to work to keep yourself going, but at the same time, it's not the end. So it's kind of like a transition point. And I, feel like, in life, everybody has that point until eventually you have something where you can stabilize, your lifestyle and everything like that. So that's suitable. So what genre do you identify your music as?
I think mostly we just do rock, but all different kinds of rock, indie rock,
Okay.
just classic rock and roll, that type of thing.
Okay.
A lot of guitar-based music, but I think we tend to branch out to more than just like rock and roll.
Okay.
Some alternative stuff like that.
Okay. So, have you received any specific kind of influence from a generation of music artists from a previous generation of musicians in the same or similar different genre that is different from the musicians in your generation? If so, what is the impression that these specific musicians from a previous generation made to you that is different from the generation of musicians in the era that you're in now? Does your influence run back from previous generations of musicians? Is there any musicians that may inspire you to put together music the way you put together music in the past?
Yeah, so my uncle played bass in a band called Mojo Bone back in the late 80s, and
Okay,
he opened up for James Brown and did the funk circuit all over the place. So,
really?
yeah, I heavily influenced by a lot of old funk music, and
Okay,
I love slap bass, and I love alternative stuff. I like the harder stuff too, and so like it's like a nice mix of what my uncle has shown me and what I'm pushing forward into the future. So yeah.
so would you listen to a lot of his music like on like recorded vinyl or tape, or would you hear him live and he played to you live?
So he set me up with a vinyl of his album, and so I've gone back and listened to that a couple of times,
Hmm.
but I've never gotten the chance to see him live. And he just the bass that you saw me play on a few minutes ago was his for
Okay,
a
so
long time.
was he a lyricist as well?
Nah, he just played bass.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So, what is one type of environment that you choose as being suitable to stimulate your thinking to create ideas and content for a song? Is there any specific kind of environment that you entered to produce a specific content?
Hmm. Mainly, I think I like just being alone.
A safe
Okay.
space. A
Safe
safe space
space.
with
Yeah.
like-minded people.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
for sure.
okay. All right. So, is there any specific routine that you utilize as to locating a public venue to perform at? And what is the kind of opportunities that you look for in order to determine that these specific type of venues is worthy to make a appearance?
Yeah, so I do all the booking. I like making sure that the people that run our venues that we play at love music just as much as we do, and like have such a passion for like supporting local artists and like making sure the local scene doesn't stop. So yeah, I like making sure that people are invested in the same things we are and are have similar goals and similar wants and needs that we do. And we just love playing. So like really
Yeah.
we like playing anywhere that loves music. So
Speaking of the love of music and the love of playing music, I would like to get into one of your tracks and everything. Can we get into one of your songs?
Oh yeah, yes we can.
Okay, so what song would you like to introduce?
Ooh. What are you guys thinking?
hmm.
Should we do Sugar Sugar?
Sugar is the most
Sugar.
meaningful, I think.
Yeah, the first song that we played, we've had that one for the longest, and that one I guess it does have some meaning behind it. I wrote the lyrics about a year ago before we even all started playing. And
Really?
yeah. We all liked the tune, and those lyrics they took about a month to write, and
Mhm.
I didn't have some of the verses and some of the lines until I just walked around. And in class, I was sometimes if I was zoning off, I probably should have been paying attention, but I'd just zone off and I'd write lyrics until I got something that I thought meant something and sounded somewhat good. So
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into Sugar Sugar with special guests For Rent, members of the band For Rent. And you're listening to Food for Thought on WPPM 106.5 FM Philadelphia, and we will return.
you're listening to WPPM 106.5 FM, the show Food for Thought, the band For Rent. We're gonna give you 4 originals, and we're gonna try our best. Okay, this next one's called Sugar Sugar. 2, 3, 4. blinded by every pretty face. I'm holding on to every unsubstantial gaze. I'm held back by daydreaming haze. Forget my past, focus on the present day. But the past is what my mama say. She said, son, use this on a rainy day. Protect yourself from a lonely hell. Life gets hard when you seldom fail. Another hand, but you know no man is an island, so together we stand. Sugar, tell me, how have you been? Haven't seen your face since I was just a kid. I'm taken back by that same old smile. Your eyes remind me I'll be here for a while. Last time around was not like this. My soft-spoken words got caught up in a twist. Was overwhelmed by my big mouth. I tell myself that it's my ticket out. So protect yourself from my ticket out. Life gets hard, so you scream and you shout. Just go let it out. Getting past that sound, and I promise, you know, I'll be around. I'll be around. You know, I'll be around. You know, I'll be around.
All right, so now we're back. Food for Thought 106.5 WPPM-LP Philadelphia with special guest For Rent. Okay, so although an audience that you perform in the presence of may perceive that your music is only for entertainment, is there any personal intention to have an audience recognize that there is a greater purpose as to your influence than just a song and a dance? What other aspects of the band would you like for others to acknowledge respectfully as being attributive to society?
I just know for me is that our drive is we want to be one of the great bands of all time. We want to be one of the icons, you know. We want to have people talk about us like we're Jimi Hendrix or Radiohead or any of those guys. And the drive is just to be as great as we can be. So we're not super worried about what the audience is taking away. It's more about us and just striving for creativeness and perfection in our music.
Yeah. It's nice when the audience has fun with it, though. You can tell sometimes if we're playing well enough. Sometimes they will have fun, and people, even if they don't realize what the meaning is, if they're singing and dancing, I don't care. If they're having fun, come on, give them something that don't make people bored.
Right.
That's all I want.
Right. Okay, so in what way can the influence of your music and on stage performance assist others to pursue their purpose?
Well, I think when we go to shows and see other bands play, we get a lot out of that. So I would hope that those same bands would get a lot out of us. We mainly just get a lot out of the style of writing their songs and their song structures and the unique things that they do on stage and things like that. All that is a learning experience, and I think people could gain from watching us, and we'd surely gain from watching other people.
Okay. So, being that in most cases, when it comes to promoting artistic content such as music, it is for the benefit of reaching individuals that will appreciate it. So, what may be a sign that it is time for a music artist to make financial investments to reach a broader region that could potentially improve recognition and, as a result, create a possible and beneficial financial return from their music as well?
Ooh, I can
Yeah.
take that.
I think
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should take that one.
I think that's one of the toughest decisions. Like we're all college kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no matter really how good we get until maybe a few years from now, it's a hard decision to put your finances behind it and take risks.
Okay.
That's what I think makes great artists great, but that's scary. I know a lot of people who really thought, and I mean, I even thought they had talent. They did have talent, but all the money you could put into it, sometimes you just can't make it, and then you're back at square one, and it's scary. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean that's like the big question, right? Is to like know when to actually say like this is going somewhere tangible. And I think the more that we book shows and the more that we play out and the more that we like see other bands play, we can tell who's tangible and who has drive and who wants to be that, next one up. But yeah, it's definitely like a hard spot to be in where you don't know if you're, really there yet to start pumping money into things.
Yeah.
And we're getting close. I can tell we're getting close, but
I think a good time to tell is when you start making money.
Yeah.
Don't spend money unless you start making money.
yeah, good
Okay.
advice.
So, how do you think an artist should start off? You said, with making money, that would kind of give you the idea that it's time to, really invest. So, do you feel like an artist should just start off with, like, a lot of artists start off with street performance
Mm.
and stuff like that and put out, the pot and then see the result of the interaction with the crowd? Do
Yeah.
you think that may be like one of the best, you know, um, ideas to say, yeah, I think I need to, take this money and start making posters and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, can an artist or band that does not use any kind of visual art to incorporate in their promotion, like flyers or social media, be equally as successful to a music artist or band that does use the services of flyers and social media? Why is it essential for a music artist or band that does not use visual arts on their flyers or social media to consider using such utilities?
I mean, like humans are such like visual creatures, right? We're so attached to the things we see, and we can remember like very vivid images. So I think that music nowadays is heading in a way more like aesthetic, based kind of direction, where like it might not exactly matter what genre or even what it sounds like, but if you really do like invest in cool visuals and flyers and getting people out to your shows, I think that sets you apart from so many other people because so many other people don't have the know-how to do that sort of stuff. And I think that's the one thing that we're really working at improving on is getting like kind of like our band's aesthetic and just seeing what works on social media, what doesn't work on social media, how we can get the most eyes on us at once, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think that, with the sound is automatically going to draw people, attract people to knowing who you are or who the artist is, whatever genre, they were like, so they need something that's kind of like, that'll keep that impression embedded in their mind after leaving, an environment that may be playing their music or hearing their music. They need that something memorable. Fortunately, nowadays with the technology, they got technology now where you can hear a song and you don't know the name of it, but it's so appealing that you can actually put the device close to the music and it'll pop up
Yeah.
the name of the artist, the name of the music and stuff like that. So that's very convenient as well. So yeah, to me, I feel like incorporating the visual art, along with the music, leaves a lasting impression because the art it speaks for itself. The art will say a story, that could be related to the music and the content and the lyrical content, but it also, you know, puts another type of visualization or a way of thinking about the music. Okay, so we can get into another song and everything. So what song would you like to introduce now?
Take Me. Yeah, this is a new one. We haven't practiced one that much. It's a little rough maybe, but we like it a lot. It's called Take Me.
Okay, so we're going to get into the live performance of Take Me by yours truly, the members of For Rent and everything like that. And you're listening to WPPM 106.5 FM.
This next one, it's called Take Me. Tried my best, turn water into wine, drank it all up, was the devil in disguise. Devil in disguise. Peace of mind, it's getting hard to find, being cooped up in the city streets, where the city never sleeps. Life's too short to feel like this. Life's too short to feel like this. Life's too good to feel like this. Life's too short to feel like this. Take me. Take me. You ought to take me. You can't take me. Tried my best to turn back time. Mistakes I make, can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. Peace of mind, it's getting hard to find, being cooped up in the city streets, where the city never sleeps. Life's too short to feel like this. 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 Break me. Break me. You can't break me. I'm gonna break free.
All right, so now we're back once again with For Rent. So when composing a song, do you tend to create a melody with instruments and then write the lyrics according to the sound of the melodic tune? Or is it more efficient to first write lyrics with no musical background and then make the melody according to the contents of the lyrics? So which one writes lyrics?
I write most of the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
usually I wait until these three all come up with the instrumentals for it.
uh-huh.
Then I'll write the lyrics for it, which usually it takes a while sometimes to
Okay,
find
so
something to say.
okay, so y'all make the lyrics, y'all make the instruments first. Okay, so what gives you the idea to formulate the type of like melody for a song? Do you, when you play like the drums, for example, Will, do you hear like any type of you know lyric kind of influence, or you just go by the sound to create? Like, how do you formulate the type of song that you or type of melody that you would feel or type of tune that you would feel like this will make a nice little
No,
song.
yeah. Usually whenever I hear like lyrics or like something like from another person musically,
Okay.
like anything musically, I always reference it back to a song that sounds something like an idea that I want to execute. But
Okay.
whenever I execute it, it always comes out different. So that's kind of why, like, oh, he's blah, blah, he's saying this, blah blah blah, he's playing this. I reference it back to like just I don't know anything, and then I'm like, okay, let me try some out going off of that, and then it kind of just comes out just really organic.
Okay. Okay. So that's like kind of like easy reference. So have y'all ever tried to like be in? I know you said safe space, but like in a closed environment where there's no sound, and then come up with like a tune or a melody, or even with the lyrics, vice versa. Have y'all ever tried that? And what is the experience of
What do you mean, like no sound?
no sound? Like if you're in a closed room, no music, nobody in there with you, windows closed or whatever. It's just nothing but quiet. Even though, you know, to me, sound being in a quiet room or no type of music is still loud to me. But have you ever experienced of being in a closed environment where it's just you, even outside, where there's you don't even hear the birds chirping, and try to come up with like a song? Do you feel like it has to be natural? Like I know you can't be forced into writing music, or lyrics and stuff like that. But do you ever feel like when you're inside of like if you're secluded, is it easy for you to write lyrics or make tunes, make beats or playing like instruments or whatever, make music?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I personally, I like if I don't have my bass or guitar on me and I want to write something, I'll just start humming along or
Okay.
but it's so hard to know that like, oh, this is an original kind of work because we listen to music so often.
Right.
And it's just like subconsciously you just start using your influence and you start like your brain might go to something that you heard before but you don't even know that you've heard that before and so it's hard to say whether we can organically come up with stuff without recognizing the context that we're in when we're writing stuff.
So it is a good benefit to have at least something to inspire you that's external.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think like how much of it is really organic. Like we're all music listeners. We all get it from somewhere.
Right.
It's like the songs are already there, kind of. They're coming from so many different places.
Right.
Just gotta put them together. But referring to like working in a place with no sound, sheesh, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's hard to write with other people around because frankly, maybe it's where we are at as musicians, but it's a little bit embarrassing or it's vulnerable to write something and show it to someone and they even if you don't care, they might not think it's good and you care a little bit. Don't lie
Right.
to me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So do you ever travel beyond your city or town of residence to promote your music, whether it's doing live performances or just networking? What is the similarities and the differences between performing at a location that may have a different environmental setting than the one that you're familiar with? And what kind of networking do you think a musician should approach when arriving to a new city or town?
So we got I don't know, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago, we played a show out in West Philly, and none of us are from West Philly, so that's a new
Yeah.
spot. Next weekend, we're going down to Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, playing a
Yeah.
show. And we've got another show out in West Philly.
Okay.
We're going all over the place. So, yeah, I think the most important part when you're just coming into a space as an artist and you've never been there before is to just respect the space and just try and be like a good person and just try and get on with as many people as you can and make friends more than you can make connections because I think nowadays when you look around you don't see as many people talking to each other in real life and I think it's kind of we've networked ourselves into loneliness a little bit and I think abandoning the idea of networking and just trying to make friends with people is what we've done and I think it's worked out really well for us.
That is a great answer. great answer, and that's gonna cost the networking anyway. Just making the friends. So yeah, more than likely, your friends is going to be the ones that's attracted to what you're doing
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come up with something to offer. So okay, so let's get into another song. What song would you like to?
This next one up is it's called One Way. It's one of my favorites. How do you guys feel about it?
I love this song.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really like
this is a
one.
good one.
We've had this one kicking around for a while.
Yeah, we've had this one for a couple months. How did it start? You wrote these two sat together and wrote the bass and the guitar.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
usually the way it goes is guitar, bass, drums, vocals is the order we
Yeah.
write things in, and that's what we did for this song, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good technique. That might be the way that you will pay your way out of rent.
Hopefully, we're trying to buy it one
Yeah,
day.
we want to own.
One day.
Okay, so we're gonna get into what song?
One Way.
One
Okay,
way.
Thank
so yeah, we're gonna do it one way on WPPM LP Philadelphia Food for Thought with For Rent, and enjoy the performance.
Thank you for listening. This next one is called One Way. When your friends don't seem familiar, when your enemies all know your name, well, I'll be there, there at the table. Well, I'll be there to stop the pain. When your family caught up in shambles, when your words they just don't work the same, well, I'll be there, caught in the crossfire. Well, I'll be there to stop the pain. Hey ho, don't you know God won't lie to live, God won't give to give, and on one fine day, me and you, we're gonna fly, fly somewhere far away, where my memories change, yeah, yeah. When you're out searching for answers, when the phone it refused to ring, well, I'll be there screaming on the sidelines. Well, I'll be there to stop the pain. Hey ho, don't you know God won't lie to live, God won't give to give, and on one fine day, me and you, we're gonna fly, fly somewhere far away, where my memories change, yeah.
All right, so now we're back, and we're with special guests For Rent, the band. Okay, so have you ever considered what your music would sound like if you incorporate it with a genre that most artists have not yet engaged their music in, and totally opposite of theirs, like for example, rock and opera, would which would definitely be a bold mix. What kind of outcome or impact do you think it would have to creating a new genre of music? So, have y'all ever thought about like mixing a type of genre with the music that you play now?
I want to do
Have
some
you ever had an
reggae.
idea?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not enough people around here are doing reggae music.
Reggae with
Try to
rock,
Yeah, reggae and rock and
Yeah,
reggae.
why not?
and you
whatever you wanna
could
call it.
you could actually hear that inside your head.
It's in there, but I can't get it out just yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gonna have to find a genuine Rastafarian or whatever.
Yeah, what do you guys think? If you could add one more genre.
Man, that's tough. I've loved punk music all my life. I like being loud for the purpose of being loud, and I like really fast drums, and I love feeling the music in my chest. So I think if we could do anything more, I just want to be louder.
We could do
Okay.
that.
Okay, what about you, Will?
I mean,
Like what Joe was talking about, we had this conversation. Like I want to get into like reggae, well, not reggae, but like there's a subgenre of reggae. It's called dub,
Okay.
and it involves like the rolling tape echo. It's like a really old pedal where you like modulate the delay and like you just do like that's like basically like the whole genre. Like it's just echo, delay, heavy bass, heavy drums, nice, just guitars like
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So what about you, Tony?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'd like to get in some more psychedelic stuff. you
Okay.
know? I think a lot of our influences are psychedelic, and we haven't really tapped into any of that style of music yet.
Okay. 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 So it'll still be a little bit easier to adapt into those different genres. But what about like if y'all did like, for example, Will, you got on to like folk music? Could you hear yourself doing like the folk music?
Oh yeah, yeah. I like
Oh, yeah.
I like folk music.
Okay,
yeah.
with the
Uh-huh.
drums.
Yeah, yeah, easy. I was gonna say Alex G. Like
I gotta
does a
hear
lot of
that. I gotta hear that. You gonna have to,
listen to
put some-
Alex G.
Okay.
He does a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's from Philly.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got Harry. You know what I'm saying? We got Harry with the opera.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You do look like an opera singer. I always
Yeah,
say
you could
that.
pull it off.
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. All right. So okay. Is there any business that you would like to start that is based on servicing the community assets like real estate, the restaurant business, the medical field, automotive, or any other service that doesn't involve musical performances, but you can incorporate music into the promotion of that business? What would that business be, and how would you incorporate your music in the promotion of that business if you was to start a business?
You're talking about like a jingle? We could start writing jingles. I feel like we'd be pretty
But
good
for
at
what-
that.
But for
Okay.
what business?
For what business?
Yeah, what
What could we
business
put our
would you?
brains together to make?
Real estate.
Real estate?
Real estate.
For rent?
For
Okay,
rent.
maybe.
Oh, see that?
Let's
too
make
easy.
like I want to
That's-
make a food truck.
Oh, we should make
Yeah,
a
make
food
grilled
truck.
cheeses and like peanut butter and jelly, something simple, you know.
Okay.
And then we can make jingles for it.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can't name it for rent because as soon as they take a bite of it, they're gonna want their refund. All right. Okay. So, all right. So, when representing oneself and a multitude of other musicians within the whole world of entertainment, what is the best way overall that a musician could preserve their originality and authenticity without comparing themselves to others, how others perform, at the same time cause a lasting, memorable impression to music lovers? So let me ask that question again. When representing oneself and a multitude of other musicians within the whole world of entertainment, what is the best way overall that a musician can preserve their originality and authenticity without comparing themselves to how others perform, at the same time cause a long-lasting, memorable impression to music lovers?
I think the originality part is probably the most important part for any musician because everyone can make music, but not everyone could be Harry, not everyone could be Tony and Joe and Will. You just got to be yourself, and I think that pays off more than any money or anything. And people, I hope whether they like it or not, you gotta respect it. If someone's really themselves, that's the best part about the music for me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, in my lifetime, if I go to a show and I can see someone on stage and I can tell in their eyes that they're not really into it, that doesn't ever make me want to write a song ever again, you know? I think the most important thing to do is have passion in everything that you do. And just like understanding that if you don't like a song that you're writing, it's totally okay to just put it on the shelf and leave it there for a while, come back to it as a different person, and then engage with it. And just the most important thing is just to have fun the whole time. Like any time that it stops being fun, it's not worth it.
Okay. So, is there like any type of like content that you feel like uh inspires you to continue to write about? Like, is there any? Do you like to write about love, personal? Do you like to write about like stories of your past or family? Is there any specific type
Yeah.
of music that you feel like you like to write about? More so events of the world,
Yeah,
things like that.
I like writing stuff that's personal to me
Okay.
and something that kind of gets me out of my head. Kind of because life as much as I love it, it gets overwhelming sometimes, and I do want to make more happy sounding music. But for now, we're just kind of getting started around writing songs, and a lot of it comes from personal stuff. And soon I want to segue that into writing songs about other people, like fun songs.
Okay.
But some of our songs about world events. I think this next one is about a world event. But
Okay. So let's get into the next song. And what song would that be?
this next one, it's called San Domingo. We wrote it a couple months ago. It's about revolution, man.
Okay. San Domingo.
San Domingo.
Okay. San Domingo.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna get into San Domingo. Sound like mango. Mango.
Little bit.
I love that fruit. Okay. So we're gonna get into the San Domingo. With some flamingos. Yeah. Oh, okay. So so we're gonna get into San Domingo. Once again, you're listening to WPPM 106.5 FM with our special guest for Rent, and we will be right back.
We'd like to thank our listeners one more time. Thank you for tuning in to Food for Thought, hosted by yours truly, James Hatcher. Lovely man. For Rent, we all want to thank him for letting us come on and play some songs. You're listening to WPPM 106.5 FM. The show is Food for Thought. The band is For Rent. Here's our last song. This one's called San Domingo. Tell stories of revolution. Non-violence was no solution. No, I'm sure freedom's in the door. Masses gathered around the valley. Flames burning, the bodies tallied. Oh, I'm sure liberty's in the door. Yellow fever and houses burning. Across the ocean, the world is turning. Oh, I'm sure change is in the door. Frenchman has got no problem. Learns a lesson that no one stops him. Oh, I'm sure freedom's in the door. Leaders, readers, and governments working, slaughtering all the hurting. Oh, I'm sure a change is in the door. Sugar cane and can't explain why the roads are filled with rain. Oh, I'm sure change
All right. So now we're back. I really appreciate y'all coming here and making yourself present and having such a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having us. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank
We
I
all
love y'all
appreciate it.
personality and everything like that. So, for anyone who would like to add your musical content to their playlist, where can they go to obtain your music? And how can anyone that would like to book you to perform at a public event contact you?
They can find our music anywhere that music is listened to for rent. And they can find us to book us at For Rent Rocks on Instagram. And yeah, that's about it.
We'll play anything. Funerals, weddings, births, anything.
Right,
We'll
right.
play it. We'll play it.
Oh,
Just hit us
wow.
up, yeah.
Funerals.
We love
Woo!
music.
Yeah, we'll keep
All right.
it like.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I really appreciate y'all coming. I thank all listeners for tuning in to another episode of Food for Thought. I'm the host that goes by the name of James Hatcher. You can reach me once again on my Facebook. Just type in James Hatcher. Make sure you also check out the previous episodes of Food for Thought on the YouTube James Hatcher YouTube channel. Just go to your search engine. If you can't find it, type in James Hatcher radio special Food for Thought. Also, the book Food for Thought, literary concept to theoretical reasoning based and inspired by the conversations and the theme of topics of this radio special and the insight of the special guests. Once again, on your next endeavor, take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.